Hi everyone, welcome to this video on dynamic folders and how to use them in CollectionsIndex Plus. There is a separate video just on folders which you may want to watch before this video because dynamic folders are slightly different. Dynamic folders are a way of saving and rerunning a search whenever you need to. So let's take a look. If we go to our object records, we can see our folders drop down, and within this folders drop down we can see different folders with black font, and then this folder with green font. If I click on that one, we can see that it's a dynamic folder. And with dynamic folders, because they're based on the search that you run, you don't have the option to add or remove items from the folder using the usual folder icon buttons. So let's view this folder. And again, you can see that we don't have the option to remove these records from this folder. So the search that I did to create this folder was that condition is fair. So these 4 records are records that say they're in a fair condition. If I now edit one of my other records, we'll see that that return from our folder will change. So if we go down to our condition section and make this fair there, and then go and click save, and go back to our search results, we can then see that this number in our fair folder has gone up to 5. And if I go to show folder and view all items, you'll see that that 5th record has been added to this set. So let's take a look at how to create your own dynamic folders. First of all, let's go back to our object summary and do a search. So you can do any search. Let's say object production person is Paul Scott, and search for that. You can see we have 3 objects returned. What I could do is build out that search a little bit more and say object production date is in the range of the 21st century. And then we have these 2 objects here. And then what I can do is go to my buttons at the bottom and click create a dynamic folder from this result. Click that and I enter the name. It's a good idea to name your dynamic folder after the search that you have done. So let's do Paul Scott 21st century. There we go. And then my folder's been created, so it's been added to this drop down here, and we can see that it has 2 records within it. And this is useful if you are looking to maybe create an exhibition on 21st century pieces by Paul Scott. It means that you can continue to add records to your system and you'll always have a folder that is running containing the relevant objects. So if we go back to our original search and see that this was the object made in the 20th century but that contained the object production person Paul Scott, we can edit this one. Let's say you were auditing this record and you came across it and actually somebody had mistakenly said that its object production date was the 20th century and it was actually within the 21st century. So let's just change that date So if you're correcting records or if you're adding new records, this is particularly useful. Save our changes. We'll be able to go back and see that our folder's now got 3 object records in it, and it includes that record that we just changed the date for. And similarly, if we were to edit this record again, and actually Paul Scott wasn't involved in its production at all, remove him. Return that date to how it was before, and then save our changes. We'll be able to see that that folder has gone back down to just 2 records. So you've always got this set of records based on that search result ready to return to. So aside from exhibitions, having a folder of objects with a particular condition or with a particular conservation priority means that without having to rerun a search, you can at a glance have a set of records and objects or items that potentially require conservation if you were to be going for some funding, or if you were to have received some funding for conservation work. And also if you're having a researcher return maybe on several different occasions over a couple of years, maybe you want to keep a folder, a dynamic folder of objects they may be interested in and things like that. So it can be useful for a number of different tasks. If we just return to our dashboard. So if you have any questions or would like any more information about what we've covered in this video or Collections Index Plus more generally, then just get in touch with us. We'd love to hear from you. You can email us or phone us on the contact details on our website, and I'll include a link to our website in the description of this video.